So we're going to go over the coaching cycle, and I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Allison Taylor. You know who I am. New to Gladewater. I've been teaching for 5 years. I've got a bunch of experience. I've taught second grade. I've taught first grade. I already said second. And fourth, and now I'm fourth again. So I've got a lot of experience in different areas. I'm getting my master's in curriculum and instruction with a specialization in academic coaching.
What kind of coaching are you going to be doing?
So coaching is very similar to like a coaching as if you were coaching like baseball or soccer or a sport of some sort, except we're coaching teachers. So with an athlete, it's to get better at whatever your skill is. So our skill is teaching. So my job is to look at you and evaluate where are some areas that you can always improve, even if you've been a teacher for a million years. So my job is to look at, you make a goal, and then I look at the things that we can do to make that goal happen. Okay. So it's very similar to coaching, like as in a sport. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'm going to write as you talk, not as you talk, but while you're talking, I'm going to write some things down.
Okay, so my name is Catherine Pace. This is my first year teaching. I'm 24. Only if you know that. I just finished my student teaching before I came here at White Oak, which is about 10 minutes down the road. It's where I live. My first year at Gladewater. I am extremely new to this, so any help you give me is wonderful, and that's another reason why I really was all for, helping, in this process, because whatever feedback I can get from other teachers is really going to help me, I believe, in the classroom, management wise. So,
awesome. Okay, so like I said before, the goal of this is to help you and me become better, more effective educators. Okay. So when I say me, I'm learning too. Even if I had been coaching for a million years, I would still have things to learn. So, but today I kind of want to talk about what are some goals that you have as a first year teacher. I know a lot of things are new. What are some goals what are some things that you'd like to improve on? What are some goals that you have for this next year?
My main goal for this year, because this is my very first time teaching and it just happens to be third grade with STAR, I mean, obviously my main goal is to get all my kids to pass STAR. Right. Which, of course, is every teacher's goal for every year. Yeah. But I don't want anyone to fail, mainly because, it is my first year. Yeah. But if they do, then, we just have to go with it, Another goal I would really like to have is, I think classroom management can always be worked on, because I believe it changes every year. With every set of new kids you get, you're always going to have to adjust your classroom management. Right. There's always going to be kids that need you more than others. There's going to be kids that need you and don't want you to help them. Yeah. The kids that are really good, you need to make sure. I think one of my issues is that my kids that are really good, I need to give them more praise, or I need to not feel like they're left in the background. And the kids that need me more, I need to learn how to structure my classroom so I can get more one-on-one time, because I don't feel like I'm able to get that as much. That's really my main concern. Okay. My main problem.
So what I heard you say is that you don't want any of your kids to fail STAR. And if they do, you're okay with it because you're a first year teacher. And I also really hear that you're talking about some classroom management things. You had a couple of things you want to give the good kids more praise, and or the kids who are performing the way that you feel like they should.
Yeah, not like good, but if like I've got a couple of kids who they always do what they're told. They're always, ready to work, and I feel like I'm paying more attention to the ones who are acting out. And I'm not ever, I try to tell them every now and then, like, thank you for doing this, and I try to pass out my tickets because I have a ticket system, but I feel like sometimes they get left in the dust.
I understand
and
that.
I feel bad about
that. Yeah, for sure. I completely understand that. So I get that a lot, because I understand that you don't want your good kids to stop being good because you're not paying enough attention to that.
Right.
And then you also said something about you want some more one-on-one time with the kids who are struggling.
Yes.
And is that saying like maybe being able to pinpoint when a kid is struggling, or do you think you know that you just?
Well, when we started this first 6 weeks, we started with place value, and everyone was doing generally well. I didn't really need to pull anyone one-on-one.
Right.
Because generally I do that at least once a week. I try to do centers, more than once a week if I can, but definitely once a week. And at that point, I have 4 centers, and then center 5 is back here with me, and I'm able to get with the groups. But once we started addition subtraction, I had so many kids just drop off.
Right.
And I feel like that's when I could start pinpointing who needs what.
Okay.
But because we have such limited time,
right,
which of course every teacher says, we never have enough time in the day, but we have such limited time, and I've got so many kids to teach that I just don't ever feel like I get to them.
Okay.
Like I want to.
Right. So what I'm hearing you say is that you might need some help with some time management. Sorry.
Okay.
You might need some help with some time management as to how do I get to all the kids that need help.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Because I've already started after school tutorials with one girl. I know it's early.
Yeah.
But she failed last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to definitely make sure that, I'm pretty sure she would go ahead and move on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want her to get to 4th grade and not know what to do. And then, like, what if she's in your class next year and she doesn't know what to do? Then,
right.
She would be doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm doing that, but that's after school. I definitely want it to be more in school.
You want it to be more focused in school. You want us to work more in school.
Right.
Okay. So give me if you could work on just one thing, what would be your tip-top very first thing that you want to say? Because you talked about how you don't want to leave the high performers in the dust. You don't want to just let them, not be recognized. And you also want to be able to pinpoint more learners and have more time management. So that's several things that we can work on. So give me your top the thing that you think would help your classroom the very most.
It's definitely a tie between the management when it comes to time and that one-on-one with students. Honestly, if I had to choose between those two, it would definitely be the one-on-one. But I feel like time kind of goes into that as well.
Right.
They kind of coexist.
Right.
Because I can't do one-on-one if I don't have enough time.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I that's what I was thinking too. They kind of go hand in hand with each other. And so it might be helpful for us to we can work on time management, and then once you get time management down, then you can definitely, you'll have plenty of time to do more one-on-one.
Because when I do the center groups and I do have kids back here, we can only get like 15 minutes at a time.
Right.
And even then, that's not enough time for me to say, okay, here's what you're struggling with. Okay, because I've got 4 kids back here. So,
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how your center. Do you call them centers?
Yeah, I call them centers, table groups.
Okay.
Well, I've got table groups set out already that the kids sit in, and the tables have numbers above them, so they know, like, table 1, you're at this table, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 5. So what I do is each center, excuse me, center 1 or table 1, I would when they're sitting in the whole group discussion, I would say, here's what you do at table 1. When you go to center 1, table 1. You do this activity, and then I move on and I show them what to do at each center. So I've got 4 centers there, and one of them is usually an iPad station.
Okay. So
I've got a game or something on the iPad, so there's technology intermixed with it. And then I say, if you're at table 5, you're going to come to me first. Okay. And then we usually work on some kind of worksheet, some kind of activity that, like last week I had a graded paper, but I did it back here I helped them out. So it was for grade, but I was able to, watch them do it and say, here's where, so-and-so needs help with this part, so-and-so needs help with this, and then I'd give them 15 minutes, and then we would switch. So then I'd say this table would go to table 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to me, and then this table would go to 1. And so we just would switch and, try to get everybody in.
When did you start that?
I started it at the beginning, but I didn't get to it and probably until I try not to do it until we've had at least 2 days, if we get 2 days, because on our planning sometimes we don't get 2 days to teach. We get 1 day and we got to move on.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll try to do, if we have 2 days of instruction time, so that way they know it relatively well, that they can do it on their own or with a group and not with me standing over them. So if they've got at least 2 days of good instruction on it, then I like to pull centers out, and I like to do centers also for review.
Okay.
So we have a CBA coming up, so definitely on Wednesday, because ours is on Thursday. We're going to be doing centers for that.
Right. That's
With
great.
Yeah, and because I like to do rewards too, because I feel like rewards also get them motivated. So.
And do you use your centers as rewards sometimes?
I do. If the kids are really good, I'll say we're doing centers. If y'all, keep doing well, we'll do them. If not, we can find something else. Or if they don't work well in centers, I'll tell them, if you can't work in your centers, we won't be able to do them. But generally, they're good with the centers.
Right.
They know what's expected of them. I talk to them beforehand. This is how your voice should be. You shouldn't be out of your chair.
Okay.
All those classroom expectations.
Okay, good. It sounds like you have good expectations for them. Okay. So, all right, I think I have good information on that one. All right, so I want this to work for you. So, I need a baseline of data. I need to be able to say, here is what you're doing. This is what your time really looks like. Because a lot of times we might say, oh, I spend 15 minutes on that. But in reality, we're spending 20. Or we might be even spending 5 less or more. So I need a baseline of data for this. So how you're saying you had 15 minutes for each station. And how often do you do this?
I try to do that center thing once a week.
Once a week, okay. And then you do for 15 minutes each rotation, or just 15 minutes and just
each rotation.
Okay.
And I set my phone on a timer.
Okay.
And so I know that each group, and about a minute beforehand, so technically I guess 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute before I get them to clean up, and then it takes a good minute or two for them to transition.
Okay.
So most of the time, I don't get through all of them. So I try not to do, I was like, I'll try to do a graded paperback here. However, I didn't get to all of them.
Right.
So I realized I can't do a graded paperback here, but I can still use that time to try to get my one-on-one as best I can. So,
and do you do, I keep asking you questions about this, do you try to do every group every day? Do you start with the same group, or how do you do that?
Yeah, what I do is they all know what table group they're at because they sit at that table. So wherever they're at is where they start first.
Okay.
And then we just rotate from there in numerical order because that's easier for kids. And if I tried to switch it up once and it kind of blew their minds.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're just gonna stick to the norm.
Okay.
So it helped. I guess.
All right. Okay, so I like that you set a timer. I do that same thing with. I use my phone all the time.
If I don't set a timer, we will be here they'll be in
they would
for
be
45 minutes.
Yeah.
They'll be in the same place.
I would do the same thing. So that's good. Okay, so I would like to be able to get a baseline of data, come in here and observe you doing stations, because it sounds like that's kind of where you want to start with, because you want to work on that one-on-one time too. So what would be a good day? Oh, first let me ask you this. Do you do this like near, it would be my conference time. When do I go to conference? 10:30 to 11.
Okay.
11:30. 10:30 to 11:30. Do you ever do?
Yeah, what we'll do, actually on Wednesday of this week, we're doing it because Thursday's our CPA.
Okay.
So Wednesday, what I'll do is when we get in, we'll start with centers, and we will, these centers I'm doing a little differently. Instead of them all basing on the same thing, like center 1 we place value, center 2, each, it's going to be like a unit that we've covered.
Okay, yeah.
And then like I told him, that, you know, if they do really well, if they win the game or whatever, then they get a piece of candy afterwards, because I want it to be fun for them, and who doesn't love candy?
Right,
So,
yeah.
you know, I want it to be something they're going to remember, they're going to actually want to do.
Right.
And I don't use candy a whole lot, but because this is a major test, I want them to really associate, you know, doing well with some kind of reward.
Right.
And I do a ticket system, but the candy, you know, for something so major.
Yeah,
It's gonna definitely up the ante a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll start it, and then we go to specials from 9:30 to 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we come back, we'll just continue on with whatever rotation we were at.
Okay.
So feel free to come in.
Do you mind if I come in at 10:30 on Wednesday?
Yeah, not at all.
Okay. It might be a little bit after that because my kids go at.
That's fine, because we'll be trying to get in and stuff, so it'll be good.
All right. So I'll probably stay in here for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And just get that data. And what I'll do with this, I keep saying data. What I'll do with this data is I'll put it into pretty little charts for you, and then we'll talk about it the next time that we meet. So I'll come in on Wednesday. Is there another time after Wednesday that you'd like to meet with me this week? Well, I'm leaving on Friday, so.
Okay. Well, Thursday is the CBA, so I probably wouldn't be able to do it.
Okay. Let me look at. So I'll be gone all next week.
Okay.
And then so the week of the 10th through the 14th.
Mhm.
I know we're off on the 10th, but any day that week. I guess not Tuesday because we have PLCs, but any day that week.
Yeah, I mean any day is fine with me.
Okay.
I know Wednesdays is our planning days.
Oh, I forgot that we don't have the same conference time, so it would have to be after school one day.
Okay, yeah, any day after school is fine.
Okay. We'll say this Wednesday at.
Except for Tuesdays, Thursdays, because I do have my little tutor girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me write this down. So this week we have. Tomorrow is the 28th. No, Wednesday is the 28th.
Yeah, tomorrow's 27th.
Yeah. And then we'll meet on October. We'll do a Wednesday. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. October 12th. We'll meet after school and talk about the data.
Okay.
And because that gives me a little bit of time to. And then from there, we'll go over a plan of what are some things that we could work on to kind of help that along. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's good. Okay, if you have any questions or you need to reschedule with me, just let me know. I mean, you see me in the halls all the time, so just let me know. But I really do appreciate you doing this for me, with me. Hopefully, we can get some stuff done, and you can get some better time management.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.